Probably.
All right.
Hey everybody, it's back again with another interview. I'm chatting to guys, two of the three members of Hellfekted, who from is it Stoke-On-Trent? Is it you're from?
That's correct.
Thrash death black metal band, I believe you're the genre. It says on Metal Archives. Anyway, I think this is black and death metal on your Facebook page though. But first off, introduce yourselves to everyone. Who are you in the band?
Well, I'm Liam, a singer and lead guitarist.
I'm Chris. I'm the bassist and backup vocalist.
Cool. Right. So first question then, Hellfekted. Like I always like to ask, what's the story behind the name? What is Hellfekted? Where did it come from?
The name wasn't really anything. Before, where obviously Chris and Miles joined, I was actually in a band called Obliterate, and I was bored of the name. I wanted something different, and so I was with the other guys used to be in that band. And to begin with, it was Hellbound, and then Infected, as with the K. And then one of them just said Hellfekted, and then that's ever since. And there's no really reason behind the name. It just sounded cool, and we were like, fuck it, why not? It was just one of them things, really. It's just Metallica.
Yeah.
Nothing towards it.
So did you sort of come up with any story for it after you come up with it, like infected? I was thinking like infected by hell, like a kind of possession kind of thing.
That is what we came up. We were like, what kind of thing could we call it for if anyone asked? And we were like, it could be infected by hell. Like, yeah,
it's like the first thing everyone says to me when they like, oh, so how do you pronounce the name? Because everyone's like always scared of saying them wrong, especially like because metal bands always change how you spell everything. So like, how is it? It's like Hellfekted, like, oh, like infected with hell. I just sort of nod and just go, yeah.
Yes.
It's better than any explanation I'd give you.
Yeah. So nothing to do with COVID then.
We did release the album on the 29th when the lockdown started, so it might have a little bit to do with it.
Yeah, it's possible. I was chatting to a man the other day who was named after someone who invented the plague virus, or he discovered the plague virus. It's just like everything's coming up plague and disease at the moment. So how did the band get together then? So you've only been around since last year?
Yeah, properly. When I went into a bit of a shitstorm with the whole like members sort of thing, because obviously I was going through bands. I went through one band, then going to shitloads of bands, and then he just went on a roll where it was like I couldn't find anyone. No one was up to the plate. People wanted to go uni. People wanted to go different paths. Me, I wanted a bit more different. I then was just starting to create stuff at home. So like Fire at Will, I already had that ready, and sort of Omen of the Antichrist. I sort of had that in the works. Went out on a night out. Not the places you would have thought you would meet any guitarists, bassists, or drummers. I met Chris at a dance club when we were getting hammered because it was the only club that was open till about 6 a.m.
It was an 80s pop bar and it did cheap drinks. That was the only reason we landed in there.
Yeah,
so,
I can't imagine there's an awful good scene in Stoke-On-Trent for metal, but we'll get to that later on. But yeah.
So I knew Chris I knew Chris's face from school. We never really spoke in school, so I pretty much pissed out my head, walked up to him. I was like, hey, how you been and stuff. I knew he played bass. I was like, you still play bass? Let's do something. Join this band. We're going to be doing big stuff in the future. We're going to fucking nail it. We're going to do what we want. Chris was up for it. Our good friend Carl, who actually just helped the band as well, he was a drummer, but he wasn't very good.
Drummer.
So we ended up kicking him out. Still good friends with him now. He actually helps the band in like PR kind of stuff. But then we actually bumped into Miles. I met him at Bloodstock when he was drunk. Mm-hmm. And then I met him at the Underground on a night out when we were both drunk. It's a common
trait with us, isn't it? It's everything worthwhile happened while we were pissed.
And then we all went out together on a night out. Miles pretended to be the drummer in the band already when he wasn't in the band. Ended up making out with some girl because of it after they had an argument. And then me and Chris just turned to each other and said, we've got to get him in. This is fucking hilarious. And then, yeah, we got him in. It was like a week later, we asked Miles if he wanted to come in. And luckily, he just fell out with one of his bands that he was in. And then he left it and then joined ours. Mm. And that's pretty much how it's been. So it's pretty much a really drunken night out. It's gone.
Yeah. When did when was Miles's first practice? We've been as we are since February. So
Of
that
this
whole
year?
so the whole February last year.
Right.
So all the songwriting and stuff, because we didn't really do much writing when Carl was in the band. Like Liam said, we had a little bit of Omen that was sort of only about 45 seconds worth of riffs that was done.
We
and
did
then Fire
do
at
Tower.
Will.
Tower.
We did Tower. We did like the introduction, didn't we?
Yeah, we got the beginning of Tower of Life, what just came out of nowhere. I think it was like he was doing a beat call was, and then I just ended up doing this chord, and I was like, that sounds evil.
Yeah,
And
so we only really
born.
had one song that was actually ready to play when Miles joined, and then the rest of it was just sort of done naturally in the studio.
So is that where you got a studio where you go to, where you're not just practicing in your house or anything like that? A lot of people will be chatting to nowadays, just recording their homes and like they sort of send riffs to each other, but you're actually getting in the studio and jamming it all out.
We did do that. We did do that at the start of this COVID stuff. Me and Chris would go on Skype because we've actually been writing the new album. And I think we created about 8 songs online just together.
Right.
It's so awkward doing it over Skype.
Yeah. Trying to hear each other, trying to like make sure that I actually have a tone that you can hear. It's not just something crap, just me strumming away. But yeah, as soon as like sort of lockdown sort of rules started lifting, we were like, because I've moved to Nottingham, I have recently. Well, not recently, been here about a year now. And I was like, I'm going to wing it. I'm going to get the train. I'm going to see if it wins. I'm going to see if they stop me or not. Got on the train. And then because we got our own studio, you see, so we can go in whenever we want, how long and all that. So it wasn't really the whole studio. It was more, am I going to get stopped at the train station saying, where am I going? But it worked.
We just said, yeah, to get stopped, just say you're going to work.
Yeah, technically it is work.
That counts as a job, doesn't it?
Yeah, I still get money for it, just in cash.
Self-unemployed.
Yeah. It's tricky. So you formed then. So you only had one song when you got this together in February last year. So how long did it take you to get the album all written?
It took about 3 months.
Right.
We smashed it as hard as we could. I think it was like we did Fire, obviously Omen, and then we did Tower of Life. Treachery came after that one, and I think it was Fractured, and then I know Archaic was last.
Yeah, Archaic was the last one because I think that
Sting
one we actually were still writing when we were recording it, weren't we?
Yeah, we were still writing that record. And Woe to the Kingdom of Blood was 2 days. 2 days before we actually went into the studio. And then the little melodic sort of Egyptian parts on the actual song I made up on the spot as I was recording it.
So the whole song was just sort of done by impromptu. I think it took us about a minute to write that because we just started. We needed to do a sound check because I think we just got either new gear or we'd swapped instruments or something. So we just needed to do like a quick tone test. So we just started jamming and then that come out and we thought that sounds pretty good. Let's do something with that, turn it into something, and then just thought, fuck it, let's have a title track.
That's pretty cool. You do hear sometimes like metal bands like throwing a song together in minutes, and it ends up being their best track kind of thing. Wasn't Paranoid written like in the studio or something like that?
Yeah, Paranoid was written about half an hour while they're on their lunch break.
That's pretty cool. So how's your when it comes to creating your songs? Is it one person does most of the input, or you just jam it all out together? How do you get your ideas for putting the song together? Actually, before we get to that, describe to everyone your sound. What do you sound like? We haven't talked about how you the Hellfekted sound.
Well, it's hard because because when I was growing up, it was the same crap in every band. It was like, this has got to be thrash. This has got to be death. This has got to be this. This has got to be this. So it was all put into like, you got like riffs where it's like spread out on a tree, and then someone says it's got to be thrash. You're like, that. You say you can't do anything of them.
Yeah, everyone very strictly structures their songs.
So I turned around to Chris and Miles and I said, I've had enough of this whole genre shit where you can't do anything you want to do. Because sometimes you make something good and it's like, oh, is it this? Is it that? It's like, oh, fuck it. If it sounds like we go off, if it sounds good, it sounds good at the end of the day. We enjoy it. We play music for us. And if people like it, people like it at the end of the day. We don't want to play something that just because the genre says it has to be done doesn't mean it has to be done. I think we did some. It's like people call us black and thrash metal, and it's cool.
I think that's just the easiest label they can slap on.
But
Isn't it?
that's the easiest label. But how we sort of describe our sound is we're just evil. We love evil, horror films, war, and we just metal. We are at the end of the day, we scream, we shout, we do death metal vocals. We are in the new album a bit as well.
It's like growls, screams, slow beats, fast beats, blast beats, just anything.
Solos, no solos. There's a big variety, and I think that's our sound. Really, it's just whatever you like, we've got it. Apart from if it's indie, and then we haven't got it. Guys.
So it's a bit of everything heavy, basically.
Yeah, just everything heavy, evil. That's what we sort of been doing lately. It's just evil. What's your sound? Evil. This evil. That evil.
Okay, so when in the studio, when you was making up the new songs for the first album, how did that process go down? Who writes most of the riffs? Who comes up with the ideas? Do you come up with the lyrics first and then build a song around it, or do you create a song and then say we're going to sing about this?
Well, how we usually do it is, it depends whether it is because Chris came up with the verse and stigma, and then it sort of revolved around that. And it's like sometimes we'll sort of pick at a song and say, right, what we haven't used, what we haven't done, what can we do, what we want to do. So like stuff where Wall of Death can get involved, where pits, headbanging parts. Like this new album, it has been like a crazy, because since we have had loads of time, we've kind of upped the game to about 15 songs. So it's going to cost a lot of money, but I'd say it's a bit of 50-50 really. I do loads of riffs, Chris does loads of riffs. We see which one's good, what fits with what. There's no riffs really thrown out really. If we throw a riff out, we usually keep it on the sidelines for anything.
Yeah, it gets put back somewhere. We don't waste anything, do we?
Yeah, because everything's good what we make. Like we don't make because obviously if it's a riff, it's going to be good.
Yeah, we wouldn't put it forward if we thought it sounded shit or like, oh, it's all right. Like we wouldn't do it. If that case, we either rewrite it or just scrap it. But
so I'd say it's like one of them. I'd say it's 50 me and 50 you, Chris, and then probably 0% Miles.
he just hits things, does he? To make
but he just hits things.
Yeah. Like, we don't write stuff without sort of passing it on to each other anyway. So like I'll write part of a song, give it to Liam, we'll like rewrite it, jig it about, structure it a bit, and then Liam will come up with the rest, and then vice versa. We don't just rock up in the studio and go, oh, I wrote a song, this is how it's going to be played, end of. Like we don't do that, because
especially with one of the new songs lately. It was, I'll call it TW at the moment, but we literally came up with it on the spot at practice. We went home, I worked on it a bit more, brought it back into practice, and then we end up rechanging it all over again, because obviously the rhythm kind of changes. I think that's what gets us, is when Miles does a rhythm, or Chris does something fiddly, or I just end up just play the riff completely different than I made it. So it's a big process. Loads of things can happen. Even if a song is like even with probably about 5 of the new songs, even though they're done, they're there. Like we can say they're done, like lyrics, drums, and everything are sorted. But because they're not fully recorded, loads of stuff.
Anything could bloody happen. Yeah,
add stuff to it. Chris could come up with like a bass part, and I'll go, "That's sick. Let's add it into that." And sometimes that's why we have like really long songs, because that's why that's sick. Add that. Oh, that's sick as well. Add that. Oh yeah, nice one. So that's how that's basically the process of how it all goes down, really.
Yeah, because there's loads of happy accidents in the first album, isn't there?
Yeah.
On Woe, there's like loads of stuff, because it's like that quiet part in Fractured that was initially just going to be, there wasn't going to be a beat to it. It was just going to be like a constant thudding on the drums behind it. And then Miles just sort of kicked into a beat and thought, no, that's got a good groove in it. Like, keep that going.
Yeah.
And it's like just loads of little things like that get thrown into songs.
You kind of evolve as you're building them.
Yeah.
What about lyric wise? Do you both write the lyrics for it, or just one person does the lyrics?
I do the lyrics mostly. Chris will send me lyrics. What he just comes. So if Chris is pissed off or feeling down, Chris will just randomly send me lyrics, and then I actually use them. So like, because obviously I've always had a really weird of a lyric making. Like I list there will be days where I'll completely paragraph. Like I love making lyrics. So there could be days where I'll make paragraph after paragraph, and then I'll put it to the actual song, and then I'll grab it, I'll throw all that away, and then I'll sing it in my head, and then I'll do it like that, and then because it's weird. It's like I go out and I go out on the internet and I try like see what words sound cool and sort of learn some new words and then add them to songs. What obviously makes it gives it a bit more depth. But
it saves using the same exact words over and over again in every song.
Yeah.
As well.
So it's like instead of like a lot of people use the word death a lot. I used to be one of them people when I was younger, when I was in my old band. I was 4 years, ages ago now. And I kept using the word death, and everyone kept taking the mick out of me. So then I sort of, when I joined this band, I was like, right, I want to like stretch my vocabulary. Can't even say it right. So yeah, I usually just go on the internet, find some cool words, write around the cool words, what I want to write around. And that's how the process really goes, really. I want to be each song unique. Like, yeah, it's going to be evil. You're going to hear the word killing a couple of times because all murdering and stuff. But I'll always try to change murdering and change killing. Like evil, change that. Change the word death into something else. So it's still, I can still sort of sing of the same stuff, but it is not coming out with the same word. So the songs won't sound the same. Because I feel like when bands always say death, death, death in every single song, it sort of just merges it together and it just ruins the specialness of the song being unique.
Make it sound like they're actually coming from a lyricist and not from a caveman.
Yeah, because that's like Death Chuck always singing about what's that lyrics now? Like maggots feasting and dick and all that. He speaks like a lot. I didn't realize when I was reading up on Scream Bloody Gore lyrics, so it made me laugh. Some of the stuff he would sing about. But yeah, that's what I sort of got it off. Chuck was screaming about dicks. He was screaming about maggots, festing bodies, vaginas being fucked up, boobs being split open. And I was like, what the fuck? But it sort of opens your mind up to a new world. And that's why everything sounds differently. Because when you say a word like death or violence, and you proper go for singing it, it changes the mood of the song, which I think so. Lyric creating is you just got to get them right words, I'd say, just to make the song a bit more special, and that's why I do it basically.
So is it to do like the cadence of the word and how the words sound when it comes out? Is that kind of thing?
So it's like if I were to say fractured, or when I scream fractured, it goes with it, you know what I mean? It gives it that evilness. But if I just scream death, it wouldn't have the same effect on it because like fracture.
Yeah, or just screamed broken world or split or something like that. You know, it'd kill it off.
Piercing. Because it's like the way the words is frack. You know, you got that that way to do it, but then when you got death, it's just instantly duh, and then the last part that you'll hear is no enough is death.
Yeah, it all depends, doesn't it? Because certain words, like, you know, you want words that mean the same thing, but they've got a lot more sort of kick behind them. Like, there's more
archaic demise,
grandeur about them, as you're saying.
Cool. So, have you got a favourite lyric? Is there one thing that when you come to sing it, you're like, "Oh, I fucking love this line. This is the one. I'm fucking glad I wrote this one."
I think the favourite lyric I've got is just the one lyric, and it's called "Drink" off Hailstorm. When that comes on, I can just get wasted after hearing it.
I was more talking about your own lyrics, to be honest. But...
my lyrics.
Yeah.
Fuck
other bands.
Own lyrics. I would have to say stigma. I love screaming the word stigma at the end because I go from a high to low to then super high, and then Chris is just screaming die. And the way it goes, it just fits so well because I just know when that part's coming up, it's just a proper bull bash it. Everyone just goes. I think the first time we ever did, we just saw the whole crowd just stop and freeze just from the power that we brought. So every time I knew that them lyrics are coming up, I just scream my heart out, and then I'll be dead for like a couple of minutes after.
Even when we're on stage, like this, you feel the adrenaline coming just before that bit comes up, because like you're sort of hyping yourself up for it, because you're like end of the song now. This is the hardest bit of it, and it's like, you know, you just get behind the mic now and you give it everything you fucking got.
Did you finish on that one because you can't do anything else afterwards, or?
Sadly, we don't. We do it's a third song in that. So when we've done that, we're like, shit, mate. Next song.
Change has done it because we do need to sort of like jig our playlists around a bit more, like with how we like the sets and stuff, because we are very sort of stuck in the one pattern at the minute. It's like people that come to multiple shows. Though. Yeah, I know. And I know we haven't got that many songs, so obviously you can only do so much. And it's like with the way they're structured and stuff, because like with even though the spacings of them on the album, you know, we sat just having a discussion for about sort of 3 days about how we're going to organize the tracks. So, you know, we didn't want it going from a fast song into a slow song and then another slow song straight afterwards. You know, we wanted to keep the pace going throughout it. So it was like, we do sort of pay attention to stuff like that. It's just with us only having 8 songs at the minute that we're playing, you know, it's difficult to make that interesting every time. Like,
yeah. So you've had quite a few releases as well, haven't you? Since you only formed last year, you've had, like, was it 2 singles and an EP, and then finally the album?
Yeah, we dropped. That's correct. Yeah, it was. Did we drop Fireworld and Omen at the same time? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, because that was Disco Kid's fault. That was because I actually.
We only wanted to put the one out. Yeah, we only wanted to put one song out, and then District Kid like. He said, "Not today, thank."
Yeah, so it ended up adding Omen, but yeah, we proper powering through it because I can't be arsed being the sidelines too long. As soon as we were in the band and we got the gang, I was like, right, we've got to make ourselves known. I was like, I can't, like, for the band, I can't just let us to, you know, be small. I want us to gain to that point where it's like we can say, oh yeah, we're at Warbringers level. One day when we're like 50 odd, we can say, oh yeah, we're at fucking the pinnacle of Slayers level, you know, or even sooner or stuff like that. I don't want to, because I can't be asked to start a band up and then what a lot of bands sort of do is where they push to the point where you actually have to start doing stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, like being in the band's hard. Like, I'm on it every day, like social media, merchandise, numbers, you know, crunching numbers, finding new ways. And I feel like when it becomes a job, everyone starts sacking off. And that's what I mean. It's like that's why we release so much.
It starts becoming a chore to people, doesn't it?
Yeah, because people think it's like, oh, this is easy. And then it comes to the real stuff where it's like, right, now we need to start making money. So that's why we've gone like, right, singles, EP, album out. When we released an album, within a year and 2 months. And we're already working on the second album. And if we really wanted to, we could release it in December if we wanted to, but we don't want to because obviously we want to make sure that this one's a little bit bigger than the last because we want to make sure
we're going to spend time sort of getting them to a bit more of a professional standard. Like the first one, just pure raw, you know, we sound like an underground band. We sound how we wanted it to, but we want to sort of, you know, we're getting better as musicians as we're playing. You know, every time we practice together, we're all getting that little bit better, and we want that to come through in the music, and like not just with like instrumental capability, but like with production quality and things like that. You know, we want to show that we know what we're looking for in songs, and we know the sound that we want to get.
So serious stuff. Then you like really want to fucking push it, and it's not just for having a laugh down the pub and with your mates. You really want to fucking get products out there and get professional with it.
Yeah, well, that's a bonus, really. We just get drunk anyway, no matter what. But it's like Chris, he got his actually another job just by being pissed. So that sort of tells you what
Yeah, let's hope they're not watching this, eh?
We want to make something out of this. We want to actually get to a point where we could, because like everyone says, "Oh, what if you get family and stuff?" And it's like, well, you saw Dave Mustaine and Metallica have families and still do what they did. So we want to be able to, we all want to leave an imprint on this world of music. We're literally smashing out. That's why we always got so much merch. That's why we've got even more merch coming out, because the more you put into merch, the more you get out of it, the more you can put back in the future. You can the way we're doing it is like we chucked 500 quid on merch. We then gained 1,000 back. We then put that £1,000 in merch and then gave 3,000 to 4,000 back. And then we put that 4,000 into merch, and then we turned that into 10 grand.
Yeah,
and then this 10 grand, we put it in, we'll be earning 30 grand, and then that 30,000 put in. And then as soon as we've got shit tons of merch. And then it's not like a clothing brand, but it's more of, you've got to work it as a clothing brand, if that makes sense. Like if you really want to start making some money, like how we sort of started doing, you've got to aim it as a clothing brand, like do what clothing brands do, which a lot of bands do forget how to do, because they think merch is merch. You sell it, you get the money, and then whenever you want to release more merch, you pull out your own pocket. But I work at Morrison's. Morrison's does not pay for merch. So we get people buy our merch, and then sort of to give it back to the fans, we don't spend that money. We just throw it back in, bring more merch out, which they will go, this is sick, like this is amazing. And
yeah,
then,
we've got a band pot, and then basically we sort of want to make the machine self-sustainable. We want to be able to still keep the band going regardless of what happens in our own life. So, if either one of us, like, it's sort of financial trouble and we can't afford bills and stuff like that, we can still keep the band moving. So at least
band is acting as an independent financial kind of thing. It's got its own accounts and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the band is its own entity.
Yeah,
we've got our personal, accounts and finances and stuff, and then the band is the band. Anything that gets made from gigs, anything, like every time someone buys merch, it all goes straight back into the band pot, and then we use that to pay for more merch and stuff, so that we're not breaking our own banks trying to keep us going. Like, because if we tried to pay for a recording session and all of us were skint, then that's it. Progress has been halted on the band and we're knackered. But if it can keep itself going.
Cool. So let's talk about the recording of the album. Where did you record the album? Did you do it yourself, or did you go to a proper studio and get a producer to do it?
We went to... I'm just going to have a quick check on my phone. I think it's UTC Studio. That's what it's called.
I was going to say, we're only there a while ago.
I was going to call it HTC. That's a phone.
That's a phone.
Yeah, UTC. Our drummer Miles used to go there when he was a kid. And this guy, Tom, who does that, he's not really a metal guy. Like, he loves his sort of indie kind of soft rock and stuff like that. He does raps for people and stuff. So we've that's what actually recorded off. Yeah, so that's who we recorded off this album. So when we went in, we didn't go to someone who loved death, who knew Pestilence. He doesn't have a clue who any of them are, which it works because it was a fresh new toy for him, if that makes sense. He was like, oh, all these new things I can do this, I can do that. Doesn't know if anyone's done that, doesn't know if anyone's done that. He can mix this with that, which obviously was a huge thing for us.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, as much as it may be a disadvantage, because we could say certain things reference a certain band or style or whatever, and he hasn't got a clue what we're on about. But in the same sense, it does work to our advantage, because then he's not going to have a sort of biased approach to it. If we make something and it sounds like a band he doesn't like, he then can't oh no, I'm going to change that a bit because personally, boys, it sounds shit. There's none of that, because he's not massive into metal. When we do stuff, he just says how he thinks it sounds and then says, is this the sound you're going for? And he doesn't tell us how to make it sound, which is obviously what we want, because the second someone turns around and tells us how to sort our own music out, the instant they're going out the fucking door. Like,
Yeah, it's a quick fuck off.
It's our band. It's like you're helping us record it and produce it. Leave the writing and the arrangements to us, because it's our art at the end of the day.
Yeah, cool. So how have you released it? Is it just digital? Have you got like a CDs, vinyl? How have you put it out?
So it was first digital, and then it was CD, and then we actually won a competition the other day for vinyls, for 100 vinyls. So that's actually put us in the vinyl game, because vinyls are fucking expensive.
Yeah,
they are.
So what's it worth? 800 quid for 100.
800 quid for 100, but you can sort of make out, you make your money's back worth of it. But still, just to get that amount of money, just to put yourself in that game, being a young band,
Being a skint band.
Yeah, being a skin band, just be able like that. So we're actually sorting out vinyls now. So I've actually just done the all artwork for it and like positions of where everything's going. So yeah, so we've got digital CDs and then soon vinyls.
Put me down on the list for vinyl. I'll buy one off you when it's out.
There we go.
Okay, so how has the action been? Have you had a lot of support, like of any reviews, shit like that?
All the reviews have come back. So when obviously we get the album out, got reviews. We don't really like talking shit about people, but there is one person, like one sort of review. What on a time I did a gig, I was ill and I was coughing my guts up and my voice was hurting so badly. And I still did the gig and I still did it really good. But on some of the parts, my voice went higher. And this person who did the review said I sounded like I couldn't do my own music, and I was like, fuck that guy, fucking don't tell me that I can't do my music.
Yeah, but I think the annoying part of that guy was it was the same guy who wrote a review for us the last time we played at that venue, and that we won't say where it was just for anonymity's sake.
Yeah,
but he wrote a review the first time we played and said we sounded really good. You can really hear the influences, like, all the bands that we said that we take inspiration out of. You can hear all of them come through. We blend well together, good mix of the genres, and overall, really good band to see. And then the same guy on the second time seeing us writes this review saying that it doesn't go well together. The instrumentals are all right, but the vocals are a bit meh and they don't go with the music. Right. Even though this is the same guy who wrote a review a couple of months prior saying we blend black metal, death metal, and thrash metal really well together.
So we thought that fuck that guy.
Yeah, a bit of a schizophrenic reviewer, really.
Yeah.
But what made us good though, we've been having nine races, we've had 10s. When people have done 4, 1 out of 5s, we've been getting the 4s. When they're doing that 10, 1 out of 10, we've been getting 9s or 10s. We've not actually got a shit review. Everyone's turned around to us. I think someone said about, actually, one of them said that it was come-worthy, bass come-worthy. Screaming vocals could make you come in an instant, and Miles's drums could make a sex god happen. So
I think they were very frustrated when they wrote that review.
So we've been getting a lot of good ones. So that's why we said for that one review out of it was just someone just there. Someone's wife wasn't being nice to him or something. Probably didn't give him enough sex or something.
I got to say, my favorite. I like the name of the album. Woe to the Kingdom of Blood. I love that kind of. I don't know, just that kind of title really gets me. I don't know, probably because I read comic books, but it sounds like a comic book kind of title, or like Conan or something like that. Where did that one come from?
Well, to begin with, I saw it on a what is it now? I was watching Orange Is the New Black ages ago, and I saw it on a wall. Woe to the Kingdom of Blood, and I was just there. I was like, it just stuck with me for ages. I was there for a month or two later, and I was researching on it. I was like, fucking hell! I was like, this sounds sick. This does.
Yeah, because the first thing you do when you think you've got a good name is Google it to make sure someone else hasn't already got the name.
Yeah, or make sure that he's not talking about something weird, because obviously it was Orange Is the New Black. I was like,
could have been some weird cult or something.
Yeah, it's got some cult stuff. And then I read upon it, and it was telling me what the word was actually stuff like the word woe. And then I was reading up, and it's from obviously like the Bible and stuff, like parts of the Bible, and just the meaning behind it was cool. And then we were like, right, well, we want to change the meaning of it now. We want to make it what the word of it should sound like. We want to make it sound the way it should. So it's like, woe to the kingdom of blood. The meaning for us is what it means. It's evil. The kingdom of blood on the album cover, literally there's like a skull rising through the ground. The whole place has gone to acid and fire and flame. It's just pure evil. And
yeah, because the thing, the best way we sort of did it is like, just sorry, cut in. Yeah, you can talk all the time. It's fine. When we did the title track, we already had the album art because we were sitting on the album art for quite a while. So we wrote that title track sort of is written around the album cover. You know, it's sort of because the whole church bells thing and the explosions and people screaming, it's supposed to be like, you know, right, evil has just arrived sort of thing. Like, you know, it's just sort of dropped. So that's the whole sort of thing around that.
Well, but we talked about the lyrics. We didn't talk about the actual subject matter of the other songs. What kind of stuff, other than evil, what kind of, you know, what kind of stuff are the subject matter for the different songs on the album?
Well, obviously Fractured, which actually pretty much sums up the world that we're doing now. It's like I said in the lyrics, is living in a fractured world where life is at a cost. So I believe in a lot of, well, I think everyone believes it, but if you need money to live in this world, I don't care what anyone says when people say money doesn't bring happiness. Money does bring happiness because, one, you're not stressing about if you're going to eat. You have to have money to buy food.
I can't pay my bills with happiness.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, to live in this world, you need money. You have to pay. If you don't pay, you're going to die. It's simple as, you don't earn money. Either if you ain't going to work for it, so if you're going to go hunting some boar, like, you know, if you're in Stoke-On-Trent or something, or Nottingham, you ain't going to go find much food on some side street. You're going to be like every homeless
You
person.
are the food in Stoke-On-Trent,
yeah.
Jesus.
So
like the Hunger Games
like that. Stigma. That is more mental based, because I had a bit of a shitty year. Chris had a shitty year. Miles had a shitty year not long ago. We all had our own voice. And I made the lyrics, obviously, to begin with, it was about me, because obviously when I was writing it was about me. And then I showed Chris, and then Chris was like, shit, me, I feel this. Can I put something in? Whack that in. Miles was like, holy shit, this is sick. You know, fuck it. I'll whack some of my experience in there. And we've all whacked our own experience with it. So when I usually say to people, like, our experiences are in here, when we release the lyrics, people are going to be a lot shocked. But you know, it's more of a mental base. It's like, yeah, we do sing about people, you know, scream, die, kill yourself and stuff like that. But it's what people don't sing about, and people are very touchy about the subject. Yet we always help people. Like, I put up a post on Instagram the other day saying, this is what Chris says, is I'll rise and watch you die.
Picture perfect suicide.
Took his while, but and obviously I put underneath, I was like, this is just a saying. I was like, this is what we sing. Don't feel threatened by it. If you do need to talk, speak to us. We've been through all this stuff before. We are here to help. We want to do like charity stuff in the future, just to sort of help people. Can't really do it this year because obviously it was sort of a big buzzkill with the whole COVID, so it's been a bit hard to do what we wanted to do. So we're trying to do like a charity where we help people with mental health. So that's sort of like, it's a song where it's about mentality and someone dying and voices in your head. But at the same time, we wanted to be
direct with it because we were saying a lot of the songs that are out there that talk about mental health and suicide and depression and stuff, a lot of it is all sort of hidden meanings or, you know, metaphors and stuff like that. And we thought, you know, I've had enough of this, like all the metaphors and shit, because it's like, to me, it's like people are dancing around the subject, whereas no one just fucking looks at it head on and just fucking runs at it, which is what we wanted to do with that song. Like, so the lyrics are just, lyrics are just pure fucking aggression. And, you know, they don't sort of pull any punches. It's straight to the point. There's no thinking, oh, I wonder what that part means when the line is kill yourself. And then the title is literally just because there is such a stigma around mental health and being depressed and stuff. You can't be depressed without someone having to make a quip about you being a misery arse or something like that, or people saying that suicide is a coward's way out and things like that. So that's like the title of it. And then we wanted the title to be about the sort of stigmatism around it all, and then the lyrics to just be a great big fuck you to it.
Yeah, then you got Fireworld, which is about war. Omen of the Antichrist is about evil in ourselves, which obviously I went because obviously go back to like old cartoons and stuff. I was like, I think it was a Grim Reaper from Billy and Mandy. I think it is. I can't remember.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yeah, I've not watched it in years now. And I actually sort of made it about that in a sort of little way where it was like the omen of the Antichrist, but then forced on yourself. So it's like born evil kind of stuff, which was the Grim Reaper who was born evil. So it's like,
about being bad, but not wanting to be bad.
Yeah, so it was
being
like,
evil,
it's not your choice.
Self-destructive by nature, and no matter what you do, you can't help it.
Treachery is about people betraying, which there is a lot in Stoke and everywhere else in the entire world. Archaic Demise. Archaic Demise was a really thought one, because when we did that one, we wanted something where it was like, right, we've done the album. Now we want to make something just to end it. So it was like, what is the best way to end something? So we thought we'd talk a bit about the history of mankind. So like, ancient evil controls mankind and all that. Like, it tells you what to do. It's like
how mankind just destroys itself over and over again.
Like mankind is mankind's undoing, and who knows, human civilization could have lived way beyond before we've ever known it, stuff like that. It
could have been years ago, but they've all just like killed each other off. Like all these ancient civilizations, like the Mayans and the Egyptians, just disappear without a trace. But it's like the only thing,
evil and stuff.
Yeah, the only thing that all humans across any time span have got in common is that someone somewhere has always had a fight with somebody else.
Yeah, it's always
it's like Team Fortress 2. It's like the sniper on that has a perfect quote, and he says, "As long as there's two people left on the planet, someone is going to want someone dead." And I think that's just the perfect way to sum up humanity.
Yeah, cool. On that happy note, let's talk about gigs. What's the local scene like for you as well? What's the scene like where you are? And have you? Well, obviously, you didn't have much chance to do that many gigs, I don't suppose, because
we did do quite a few.
Things have happened. But how have you been live?
Well, this is what everyone gets surprised about, because we started gigging, I want to say last April, was it, Chris? Just the end of April, beginning of September.
What, last year?
Yeah.
August.
So we started gigging in them. We got one gig, and that was with a band from Germany. We were called
Denmark.
Sorry, Denmark. I can't remember what they're called now. Who are they called?
Was it
Hexis. There was Hexis, and then there was it Tengel or Tengel? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it was Tengel, actually. But we did that gig. That was good. We sold out. We got loads of the crowd.
That was a weird night. That was. It was our first gig, and we pulled most of the crowd in, and then the headline act had a smaller crowd than we did.
So obviously that's what happens when you're local, isn't it? Really, you get more of the crowd. But Stoke is good for its crowd. I think it'll be a lot better now after this COVID. But
people will realise what they've been missing, and like they've taken it for granted.
Gigs have actually been really good for us. We've gigged in Scotland already. We've gigged in London. We've gigged in Cardiff, Swansea,
Banbury.
What's the other place? Banbury,
Kingston.
Have you gigged in Manchester? Because my mate Jay was asking me if he'd seen you in Manchester at some point, maybe.
Yeah, we were there 2 weeks ago.
So we played Whittles and Oldham.
Yeah, we did like a little COVID sort of gig. It worked really well. But yeah,
weird playing for everyone sitting down. I'll give it that. That was weird.
Yeah, that's weird. But we've done for a smaller band. We got out of there and we just smashed so many gigs in such a small time. And that's what COVID sort of pissed us off. It was more of the stuff. I was like, well, We had like
we were
about
building
another
the
40
momentum,
gigs.
like, we were getting there. Like we had everything planned, and it was like, right, it's really starting to pick up now. And then it was like we just hit a brick wall.
Mm.
So when it's finished, we'll be getting back at it.
Yeah. So how do you sort the gigs out? Are you just doing them all yourself? You got connections? You just
we do them myself. Like we obviously we speak to people. People ask us, like friends of other bands. You know, we do ask about, but we also got management now. Right. We got management, but I think it was around like Christmas time. Unearthed Management, obviously the good old Liam Murphy boy. He helps us out tons with getting gigs. Like he fucking proper sticks his neck out. It's like we're his talisman. What he says, because how much graft we do,
much charm.
Yeah, no matter what, we will look for gigs, and he will set up tours for us. Like we got loads of tours ready for next year, for where everything rises. We're gonna go smash them all and stuff. Fingers crossed, anyway. But yeah, like we do get help in the shows. But I feel like we can do it ourselves, but
do it yourself.
No harm with someone.
Don't be too proud to accept help.
To have to help,
you know, because it's hard to come by. Someone's going to offer you help when there's nothing in it for themselves nowadays. Like, so if someone offers you a helping hand, don't turn your nose up at it and think, "Oh no, I'm too good to accept." Just fucking take it.
So, if anyone is watching and stuff, Unearthed Music, there's a great place to go find new bands as well. So check.
If you want to give me their link, I'll put it in the blog post as well later on. Send me the link later on. I'll add it.
Will do.
Yeah, cool. Did you get any gigs cancelled when the lockdown came? Was you had some planned and?
We had loads. We were meant to go with this band from China.
Was there about 12 that we knew of?
Yeah, there was 12 that we knew of, and Liam was getting some sorted. I think Liam had like a bunch. Sorry, but then obviously that we had Rage Fest, which we aren't really doing now, I don't think. We had Derby Up Fest, which is now happening next year, which is going to be really big. We were meant to gig with a band from Japan. It was Japan because it was Survive. Really looking forward to them, but that got rescheduled and cancelled. There was just I can't really remember now because there was
that many. Like
Devon, London. There's just shite tons, but we did end up losing a lot of gigs, which we're really annoyed about because
then it's just been like living in limbo for the past couple of months, hasn't it? Because every time a gig chance, like an opportunity's come up, everyone said, obviously, of course we'll do it, jump on it. And then as it gets closer to the date, obviously people start to realize, new restrictions, it's not feasible to do anymore. Sorry, guys, we're going to have to cancel it. So every time someone's mentioned a gig to us now, we're not getting excited about it until like the day before when we know it's definitely going ahead.
Yeah, because at the end, it doesn't seem to be in sight for all this lockdown shit, does it? What's it like? You locked down at the moment? What tier are you on at the moment?
Well, I've just been moved
Stoke is in tier 2.
Yeah, Stoke just got moved to 2.
Right.
We're in tier 2.
We're in tier 2 as well. What?
Stoke's in medium zone. We're in the high zone.
Oh, we're in the high zone?
Yeah.
So those are Nuggets in the high zone. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, that's what all the kickoff was about, remember? Everyone in Liverpool was kicking off because they're getting put on full lockdown and Nottingham isn't, and you're worse off.
Oh, right. Okay. So what is the scene like in your town? You still got Nottingham Rock City or that closed down?
That's still up. Rock City's still up.
Is it putting on when it's not COVID? Is it still put on a lot of metal gigs?
Yeah, it still puts on metal gigs. I think when I moved up here, the first gig I went to actually, just sort of like because I was used to the Stoke scene, and obviously Stoke scene can be up here or it can be all the way down here.
There's no in between with the Stoke
scene.
There's
no in between. It's always going to be good, or it's always going to be. It's
either incredible or it's crap. There's no.
But we do have good bands over here, though. That's the thing. That's what sort of weirds me out. There's quite a couple of good bands from Stoke, but then obviously it doesn't get the reputation as it should do. But when I came to Nottingham,
not nowadays anyway.
Yeah, I went to. I think it was my birthday because I didn't go out for like a month or two, so I was just getting my house sorted. And then I went out on my birthday and I went to go see Ifrien, Hung Daddy, and who was the other one now? I can't remember who they were.
They're all good.
Oh no, we went to that other gig, didn't we? There was one where Incinerary.
I don't know.
Yeah, so we went to a good, but every gig it was full. You know,
No.
Phil Core is he's a sick promoter. He puts on some really
He's the
good
daddy
gigs.
in Nottingham, isn't he, Phil Corus?
He is the daddy in Nottingham, what people would say. He's if you go to one of his shows that he's promoted, you can guarantee full, sick bands, and no matter what, you always have a good night.
Cool.
That's the best thing.
What about Stoke? You got any venues there?
Well, we've got sort of one that everyone sort of revolves around at the minute. It's sort of like it's looked at as the Church of Metal in Stoke at the minute, just because it's probably the most popular surviving place. The Underground.
The Mighty Underground.
Yeah, just in the middle. We did used to have the Sugar Mill, but they've changed massively. You know, that used
They've
to
gone
be
to more indie.
Yeah, it used to be a proper rocker metal bar, that place, and it used to be brilliant. And then it just slowly started phasing out metal to the point where there was only one room in the entire club that actually played metal, and it was just all new metalcore bands or deathcore. It wasn't like proper, as I hate to say, like proper metal.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, in old school rock and stuff like that, you know, there was just none of it anymore. And then they stopped doing that. It's all just full indie bar now, which upsets me a bit because, you know, I never used to be out of there. You know, every night it was open, I'd be up there with my mates, and then it's just I haven't set foot in there. Oh God, for about a year and a bit now. It's just downhill massive.
You did an online gig recently as well. How did that come about, and how did it go down?
We got asked by, I want to say Alan Hicks, I think it is.
Yeah.
He just came out of the blue, and bear in mind we have been on and off with doing an online gig, like because we don't know how we would have gone, but we've actually got a good friend named Izzy who goes to a uni in Stoke, so she got some of the equipment, bashed it on, and then it was like he messaged us, and I was like to Chris and Miles, I was like, shall we do it? I was like, I don't know if we should do it or not, just in case if we can't do it. And we said, fuck it, we'll wing it. You know, you got to wing everything, just because obviously if you wing it, it's most likely to go good anyway. So we winged it. We got all the gear set up. We did it. Then it went well. On the day when we were meant to release it, I had no internet. I was using my partner's internet. Chris was trying to upload it. I was trying to upload it. Our friend was trying to upload it.
Oh,
and
no.
We couldn't upload it until 10 minutes
panic,
to.
That was.
So
was like, just get it uploaded. What was it? 9 o'clock we had to get it uploaded.
And we got it uploaded about 5 to 9.
Yeah, and I got sent it, and then I was like, oh, I can't open it. Nothing's working on my phone. I was firing my laptop up. I was trying to do absolutely everything, and then I was uploading it. I was like, all right, good, we're safe. And then about halfway through, my internet crapped out, and then I was like, oh, I've got to start it again.
So it was a pre-record day. It wasn't a stream. I thought it was like a stream straight from. That would have been fucking too much of a nightmare, wouldn't it?
That would have been an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We were like, fuck it, we'll pre-record it.
Yeah. Probably better as well. I listened to a little bit of listening to earlier today. Actually, sounded all right. You got any plans of doing any more like that? Or you just wait for the venues to start opening?
We will probably do one of our new stuff in the future. Because obviously, like I said, we don't know how long this is going to last. So it might become a regular thing. Like every couple of months, we might just do a live gig.
So if the chance comes, we may as well take it, get your foot in the door, just because you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, fucking, I can't believe we've done 50 minutes already. So let's talk about post-COVID plans. What's going to happen once the fucking all this shit is over? You got a new album. Like how much is that written? When can we expect to see it?
Well, first thing is we're going to go to the pub. We're going to go to Wetherspoons first, and then we are on our, I want to say, 6th song that we've got properly sorted, where we've gone down, made sure the drums and lyrics are all sorted. So that's done. So next year, I'd say around March time, second album will be out. Hopefully this new single will be out November, December, and maybe another single might come out 5 months from now.
Yeah, we'll see how we're feeling when we get through the album.
We're pushing Liam. We're gonna make our manager work his ass off as soon as this COVID gone, because I say it's gonna be a rush for every single venue. So it's gonna be like, right, we're all gonna be smashing every single promoter, get this tours overseas. We will be going overseas sometime, hopefully next year or the year after. Record deal, we're going to try to get one sorted. We have been in the works with some. So obviously that's good. Male merch. But yeah, if you were watching, buy our merch because it goes back into the merch. We'll give you more merch to wear to look sexy and evil. Our motto, sexy and evil. That's when you can be. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is the merch on the Bandcamp page? Where can I get the merch from?
You can buy it on Bandcamp, or you can either message us personally, and then we can get it sorted through that way.
Okay, cool. All the links are in the blog then. That's fine. So what about other social media stuff? We were talking about vinyl earlier on and how expensive it is. You said you won a contest, so you're probably going to get some out, did you say?
Yes, we'll be getting vinyls out very soon. I'm just speaking to Cram duplication, and then we should be getting them out within the next month or so.
Cool. And have you thought about doing anything like crowdfunding for like future? Because you have various things you could do online now, like Patreon and stuff like that. Have you considered?
We have thought it. Yeah, we have thought of doing like Patreon.
You got to tread carefully with stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, because with Patreon, you've sort of people buy subscriptions for Patreon. So with that, you've got sort of gain their trust to do it, and then you've got to keep delivering content.
Yeah, you've got to hold up to like your end of the bargain to like sort of because they're rightly paying you so much.
So I think Patreon's going to be,
especially if you're a musical artist as well, to keep having to try and pump out content like that frequently. Eventually, all you're coming out with is going to be shite. Because if you're having to do something like once a month, then you're going to start writing crap just because you can't come up with anything else. You haven't got the time to do it.
We did say though we're going to do Patreon because me and Chris are going to use our YouTube channel like a YouTube channel. So we're going to put music on there. We're going to do stupid stuff,
behind the scenes, rig rundown,
behind the scenes, gamings.
Just a YouTube channel but with us on it. Basically, like it's not just basically like every other band
use it for YouTube.
Just throw up the album on it and then leave it and abandon it. Like keep it moving. It's another platform to sort of socialize on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Definitely, you should. I'm not look at your YouTube, but that's definitely a good tool for getting like the word out there more. And you can do that as like because Patreon doesn't have to be songs on music. You can have other things like you can have an exclusive YouTube video that people can watch you on your Patreon.
Yeah,
just anything like that. Really, it hasn't got to be like a new song every fucking month. That wouldn't be possible.
That'd take a lot of work.
It would take a shitload of work. All right. Talking of Patreon, I've got a Patreon. Check out the blog. My Patreon's on there if anyone wants to. But mainly it's for my podcast. So. Have a check that out if anyone's interested in helping support my channel. And right, what do you want to say? We're going to finish it up now. Just let you guys finish off what you want to talk about, and then we'll fuck off.
So, feed the evil. So, which is us. Buy our merch. Listen to our music on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music if you really want to. The more merch you buy, the more that comes into our merch fund to get more merch. To the people that did help us get them vinyls, when we get the vinyls, we are going to give some away to the main people who do help us a lot. Because obviously, we can't give all the vinyls out for free.
Yeah, so if you want one, start making
we'll be out the vinyl game. Yeah. So we're going to obviously give some vinyls away. But yeah, help us with the merch. Help us with streaming on music. Spread the word around about us.
Word of mouth is the most effective form of advertising. Tell your mates. Don't just send them a link on Facebook. Go and tell them to their face.
If you want to, get band tattoo on yourself and you get free gigs for life. But yeah, everyone stream Hellfekted, word Hellfekted. Hellfekted are going to be big. We're going to
support bands in general as well.
Yeah, support everyone in the local scene as well.
Support everybody. Go to the
everyone in the local scene, bands and businesses. Podcast, everything, because everyone needs it now. Shit time, so that's all fucking coming together.
We've just been told by our elected government that we're fucking useless and we need to retrain in different skills. So I think we need to show them how to go fuck themselves.
Yes. Yeah. So support everyone. That's the best way.
Definitely. Okay. One last question. Right, if someone was like who just comes across this video, not heard of you guys before, and you were to tell them to listen to one song that's going to give them the proper Hellfekted experience and turn them into fans, what song would you tell them to check out?
Chris, you got to say it in 3 seconds.
Oh,
1, 2, 3. Stigma.
Stigma.
Oh, fuck. Oh, like you say, there we go. There we go, yeah, Stigma.
Okay, so check out Stigma. And I'm going to play you again on my podcast probably next week now. So I'll play that track on there as well.
Awesome.
And then when you say you've got another single possibly in a couple of months, don't forget to send it to my way so I can play it on the show as well.
Yeah, definitely, we will do.
Yeah, we
Cool.
started the little countdown for that. So the artwork's been released for it. So you can take a look at it and sort of get the general vibe of it, and then.
Cool. And once it's all over and you've got any tours or anything organised or anything, another album out, you can come and have a chat with us if you feel like it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'd have to be up for that.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Brilliant.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye,
Thanks for
everyone.
having us on.
Cheers.
Hey.
It was